I'm no salesman. Fuck, I'm not even a podcaster. But what I am is a man with balls. And when I want to trim my balls, I use the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0. And if you want to use the same, Sheriff Show at manscaped.com for 20% off. That's code Sheriff Show, SHERIFFSHOW at manscaped.com for 20% off, plus free shipping. Summer's approaching, and guys, there's no point going into the gym and busting your arse in the gym, forgetting muscles and covering them up with fucking chest hair. Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0, shave that right off, have the sun glistening off those pecs. A Greek Adonis. Manscaped. Women also, because some women now have balls, so you can fucking get them shaved as well with the Lawnmower 4.0. Remember, code Sheriff Show for 20% off. That's code Sheriff Show. I'm Killian Sheridan. Oh, nice.
Has that been on?
No, it hasn't, has it? No.
You're desperate to get stoned.
I'm stoned now.
I've just fucked your sobriety. You're smoking a joint tonight.
I'm at my boxing now, mate.
More importantly, just fucked my intro.
Why don't we just speak through this?
Nah, yeah. Well, we've got 30 seconds of it.
Oh, sorry, mate. I'll turn it
What
on.
are you on?
Did you see Greg James on Saturday Kitchen?
No.
Oh, brilliant, mate. Anyway, sorry, I'll let you go on your intro.
No, I was just saying that I'm Killian Sheridan. Welcome to the Sheriff Show with Lewis Capaldi and, as you can see, Simon Ferry and Darren Connell. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks for having us on, boys.
Yeah.
Big fans of the both of you.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You never knew who I was 10 minutes ago.
That's a lie. Told you.
No, actually complimented me before.
Did I?
Yeah, when right, you said, oh, like that you were listening to it and you really
Like Darren, I heard.
liked Darren, yeah.
No.
And very
I told
dry-
you that as well before.
It was a joke.
Ah, sorry.
I like how dry
I was joking as well, so
Cheers.
he didn't say.
Aye, worried.
I mean your scalp. How dry your scalp is, I really like.
That's shite. I had a hair transplant.
Wait, what can I ask? Like, I noticed this when I came in the Bonaccord pub. Why don't you may as well fling? Never know what could happen, mate. It could be free pints from now on.
Yeah, shout out Bonaccord. The owner came up to me one day.
And he said he was a fan of the that guy just said he was a fan of the podcast. Robert.
Robert.
manager?
Robert. No, that boy wasn't the owner.
Well, he was acting.
That's
like
the boy who
he was acting like he owned
you
it.
said looks like
Paul
Black.
Aye, he took a bite.
And no, he came over and was saying he enjoyed. Did he say he enjoyed?
He said the owner was a prick, though, didn't he? Robert, you've just been sacked, mate. But why I love the Bonaccord, I don't know if you spotted it in the toilet. They've still got a condom machine. I see
Everywhere
I
does.
seen you. Did I?
Yeah,
No, the modern pubs didn't.
I think so.
Did I? Good. And there's also this as well.
Plus, who still wears condoms?
I wear them in my mouth
The
sometimes.
women that come in.
Aye, for water balloons.
And they've also got Glade Relaxing Zen. What's it called?
Air freshener.
Air freshener. So
I was wondering why you were in so long.
Smelled some bad shits in the Bonaccord. You can imagine. You've seen the types in there, mate. There's some smelly shits in there. Sorry, you doing your intro?
Nah, the intro's done.
Oh, what was the music? I want to hear it.
No, the music is my song. You have to tune in and watch to hear the
Oh, so
intro.
it doesn't get played on this. It's just. How do you do that?
Normally it would, yeah. Would it?
Can I hear it,
Sometimes.
please? Can I hear it? Because I do like the song, but I liked "Hi, my name is."
Wait.
Right. Why don't you do your actual intro and you'll see it instead of you playing the old one?
What do you mean?
Like you were about to do your intro there, weren't you?
No, I think I've done the intro.
Did you?
Yeah.
No, I'll go do it again. Come on, just this will be the first podcast you did it twice.
Or 3 times probably now.
Right, go there.
With the song. So I don't know, will this play over the thing as well? Fuck it. Sheridan, and welcome to the Sheriff Show with Lewis Capaldi, who unfortunately couldn't make it today.
He's a prick, man.
Very busy. No. He's very busy.
We're all busy, mate. We're all busy. I've got 2 kids.
He's
I've got
very
3
busy.
jobs. I've managed to make it. I don't know what he's excuse. What?
Look, you've made fun of him previously.
He's a hero, a guy, mate.
And has he been on the actual podcast?
Nah, I've asked him. I've been asking him for 3 years now.
So I'm not making fun of him and jeopardising any potential.
If he does yours before he does mine, I will fucking hunt him down. I know where he lives. I will hunt him. I'll do a shite through his letterbox.
I'm just gonna keep getting the little clip of you slaughtering him.
What is it? What did I slaughter him?
No, I'm not repeating it on here.
Did I slaughter Kev Kyle actually said he had a head that looked like a bag of messages. Rubbish. But he enjoyed that part. That was when he first got in touch with him. Go when Kev said that about him. Kev's picked him up in an Uber recently as well.
He's picked up fucking everyone in an Uber.
Fake taxi, innit? Him and Capaldi done a fake taxi there. You same kind of. That's how Kyle turns up to the podcast track every week.
I like to walk it.
Right.
I walk it through my flat. No Springburn.
Oh, you're Shawlands now, aren't you?
Aye, get my steps in.
Active leisure wear.
Yes.
The end of nights send stuff.
No, did they fuck? I got it for the Bishop Briggs retail one. The cheap stuff.
There,
Full
you got a
riggets.
pair of shin guards on with them as well.
I know. Normally I wear a helmet, but no today.
Is that the helmet you seen your dad when he came in your room with the spoon in the thing?
My dad might be watching this. Slagging my dad in the pub.
It's mad how dads always get it.
Aye, and then when it's your ma, I love my ma. Best woman in the world.
Honestly, mate, I don't know how to explain his dad, man. The whole time I'm doing a podcast, I'm just thinking, how can I speak about Slaney's dad?
But do you ever think like his dad will be watching this?
Mate, I'm walking down Finiston one day, right? No word of lie. I think I was meeting my missus for a meal. And this horn starts fucking rolls his windy down, right? He said, I don't think I'd met him before. And he went, I'm Slaney's dad, you prick. Just like that, look. Like, leave us driving, mate. But he's a hero, wee George, mate. He loves it.
I'm Slaney's dad.
Slaney's dad. So are you like the sheriff's deputy?
Aye, I think so.
You would say that, yeah.
Assistant.
I'd say so, yeah. Because we were talking beforehand, and he was like, do we ever get together and come up with like the whole show? And I was kind of saying, well, no, because it's just naturally become basically the two of us doing it. But you did say you're for the threesome.
Oh, what?
Who's the third?
With your dad.
The camera.
Oh, aye.
I knew Bon Accord was a bad idea.
Aye.
I know, I've had 3 Guinness, mate. I'm so good. Talking about Bon Accord.
I'm blackcurrant, by the way. Get that in.
A wee bit of blackcurrant in your Guinness. You ever had that? Well, how long have you been sober?
7 years.
Well done, mate.
That's
Thank you
Do you find that tough? I'm not trying to interview you, but do you find that tough? Like social events, occasions?
No, I'm alright. I'm alright now. I take medication for it.
Right.
I get help for doctors. I get a jag in my arse once every 2 weeks.
Do you really?
What are you laughing for?
What, something you seem to get a jag in their arse?
Nah, but while he's talking about being sober.
I know that I'm going to. But so, do you actually? Are you being serious? Because you're not quite dry, like I said. Do you get a needle in your arse?
What would you get a jag in your arse for being sober?
A jag of vodka in your arse.
What? That's shite, mate.
No, so 7 years to that's amazing, mate.
7 year, I don't get a jag mask, don't worry.
No, thank fuck, man. I'm sweating here. What was it? Can I ask what the stage was where you thought, nah, I need to chuck this? Or do you know what, really, is that too deep?
No, it's, I was just basically turning into my dad, just cutting about the house with my belly and thing in it. Just fucking mad with it. The podcast listeners won't get that joke. I've got a joke in my stand-up set.
I mean, that joke's incredible. Would you tell it now?
And
Because it might entice people to come to see your stand-up because it's incredible. I was pissing myself.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, for audio listeners, Darren's dad is just standing here with his stick out.
He's full-blown belly and thing in it.
Right, you go tell it.
So basically, I was staying with my family during lockdown, and my dad's a lovable guy, but he's fucking half he's not. Glaswegian guy that's mental. I made a cup of tea one night, and I was in my bed, during the night, the bedroom door came flying off the fucking hinges. He's came running through my bedroom. He's wearing a white t-shirt. He's got white fucking Kappa socks on, no pants, and his bare end is hanging out. And he's like, hey! Hey! Was that you that left the fucking spoon in the fucking sink? You cunt! I was like, aye, and he's like, next time just wash it then and put it away. Fuck's sake, man. Anyway, good night, right? You got a meeting with the bank tomorrow about a mortgage. Good night. He gets a jag in his ass, by the way. Put the cunt down. Take him to a vet and get him a jag in his ass. If you spiked my fucking drink, you cunt.
Here, finally, I've got a good clip to put out.
My head's fucking sore, man.
A little teaser clip.
Oh,
yes.
That's incredible, mate. I need to meet your dad.
He's a good boy. He's a good guy.
What's his name? Give him a wee shout out, Con.
Brian, I love you, man.
Brian Cornell. Cornell. Is it Cornell?
You don't know me, mate.
Right,
You don't
I
know
know
me,
you
mate.
better than you know yourself, mate.
Connell, see
I've seen you hanging about the...
Bright
the
Connell,
Falkirk-
BC.
I've seen him hanging about a dirty bike track.
Can we talk about that?
Of course you can.
During
Go for it.
lockdown, I was out for a walk and this cunt came past us on a bike with 29 people.
Sorry for audio listeners, this cunt is Si.
Yes.
Yeah.
29 people, tricycles, fucking unicycles and all that. During
Some
lockdown.
guy was sitting on your face, riding your ears like a bike.
I was singing with dad, Sly's dad.
Slanny.
He'll be raging that he's been called Slanny. I'm going to constantly... Mate, can you please send me just that wee 10-second thing and I'll just keep sending it. Slanny.
Sorry. Juggling balls here, lads, man. Sorry.
Oh, dear. What a start.
Car crash.
This fucking podcast going to the top.
Huh? Oh, man. There's actually no point in me following this, is there?
No, stick to the script,
Not
mate.
that there's nothing here. Yeah, so, I don't know. How can we save the NHS?
His dad's a man to save it,
Nah.
innit? His dad's a man to save it.
No, I actually had a few kind of serious, I say serious questions, but I was gonna, because you said that you'd talk about the Broomhill manager.
Honestly, I can't talk
being a
about
manager,
it, mate. Can't talk
management.
about it. No, I will talk about it. Have you?
And one of the things I was thinking of was, did it change your thoughts on managers?
Did it change? No. It's different for us, for me, Kelly, in terms of the managers that I worked for, because I was always that Broomhill's not a decent club, but at a good level, who the club was kind of in a state, like a good position where they could concentrate on the football side of things, where I felt like I was doing a
You
lot
to do
better.
everything.
Yeah, but I don't think managers that I've had previously have had to do that, mate. So I don't think it would be kind of a fair reflection on other managers. that I've
But
had.
do you mean? Oh, okay. So you mean previous managers that you had?
Yeah, I don't
wouldn't have had to deal with.
Yeah, the
the
stuff that I was dealing with, but that you had to do basically in terms of your job.
Did you underestimate how much work there was in it?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%, mate. I underestimated
Did you
how much I
think-
would want to take on, because the way I sold it to the players, mate, was this is getting very serious for where we've just been, but
I
that's
know.
the beauty of
I
the
know.
podcast,
So
isn't
we've
it?
still got tears in our eyes.
From my dad's
talking.
parents to Broomhill. Like,
If someone just tuned in,
I wish I'd never made his dad the kit man, I'll tell you that. That was my number one mistake. But
Brian Connell's belly.
no-
to trying
no
to do a
case ever
podcast
showed
and a
up.
football team at the same time. It's really stressful.
oh, let's just keep it light. No, it was tough, mate. It was, this has
lads
been
are like, "Where's the shorts?" He's like, "You don't need shorts."
what you want. What you want, shorts.
Here, stop talking about my dad.
No, but it's been, this has been the hardest year of my life, mate. Mentally, physically, in terms of workload, it's been the hardest year of my life, mate.
Did you think that? See, before you got into, because I remember talking to you maybe a year ago, 18 months ago or something, when you were close to maybe going into management,
Yeah.
and your first thought then was it was going to be management over
Podcast. Yeah.
whereas obviously now it's different. Is it just because of it was also kind of, it was a little bit merged together as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So again, in terms of management, mate, I'll now know do management until I finish the podcast. I don't
So
think
it's one or the
possible.
other.
It's one or the other.
It's one or
mate,
the
aye.
other.
And I don't think I'm going to get a manager's job while my podcast though. So let's be honest, a chairman would be.
Could you? That was the other thing. If like, do you find it hard to find a balance between being funny and creative?
Well, as you've just seen, no.
Whilst
fucking very natural.
Whilst being taken seriously.
So see, in terms of like a result on a Saturday, I don't know if you've had this. Like, if you have a bad gig, I'm sure you have loads of them, so you understand. But like, see, like a bad result on a Saturday, mate. Like, I'd be floored for 2 days, mate. So we did the podcast 9 o'clock on a Monday. Sunday I would take off, mate, because I was just fried. I didn't at first, but I thought I need to take Sunday off because I need to start. I actually need to talk to my kids.
But I mean the other way. If you went from being taking the piss on Wednesday and Thursday on the podcast,
no, so that's like the podcast on Monday, mate. That's what I'm trying to say.
Ah, okay.
That's what. So okay, I would still be floored for Saturday, mate. And you're going on to the podcast on a Monday.
Yeah.
And you don't need to be funny, mate. But a lot of why the podcast is people like it is the hilarity on it, and you're getting there, mate, and deep down you're fucking still thinking of the game. You're thinking what went wrong, what did I do wrong on a Monday. I'm still thinking of things, mate, and you're sitting there, you're having to talk about other things and just talking about slaying his dad, slaying his dad and his dad together. Remember Slaney, you and Slaney's dad?
No, I'm sorry. I've got a fat lip.
Hey, Coach
so
Slaney.
I found it really hard, mate. Like there was some days I was sitting on the podcast, mate, and I couldn't tell you a word that was said on it because my mind was elsewhere.
But see, ones you're doing later on, you don't do them all on a Monday.
Monday and a Thursday we do them.
So say the one you're doing on a Thursday, when you're having a laugh, having a joke, then you have to go in and be serious.
On like
the Saturday. Sorry, the lads are seeing you.
That's what I'm saying. It's the
lads are seeing you being funny and joking, and then you're coming in and they're like having to be. Fuck, like how do we approach him? Is he being serious or is he joking?
So that's why I think it doesn't work, mate. It just doesn't work. I think when you're a manager, there needs to be one message, mate, and that message needs to be very clear. So if I come in after a Saturday and they can tell that I'm fucking raging. If I'm a player, I'm looking, well, is he actually raging if he's fucking laughing and joking again on a Monday? So I don't know if the message delivers as much as you wanted it to. Again, if I went and took the Peterhead job this year, I think I'd have done really well, mate. Again, I could be completely wrong. I could have went and made an ass of that as well. But
you never know.
If I'd left the podcast and I'd fully focused on just being a manager, I think. But even like what we've done, because it's your first job, I was 34 when I took the job. Obviously still doing a podcast. Then there was also the fact it was all being filmed. And then the open goal names attached it. I just think all these factors coming into one, it just made it really hard to be successful.
Did you find you could be yourself?
I always myself.
I mean, with the documentary doing it as well.
Always myself, mate, because you'll know yourself,
which,
Kelly.
By the way, is class.
The documentary?
Unreal, yeah.
I kind of watched them, mate, but the feedback's been good for it. My wife, I get my missus to watch it and just tell me if there's anything like, does that really, because watching yourself being like that is tough to watch, mate. It's really hard to watch. No, never ever put anything on, mate, because when I'm involved in football, I'm fully into it, mate. I've not got time to think about being somebody else. It's just me when I'm in football. I change into a different guy. What you did get is, again, not only adding the defeat, I'd sit and think, what did I say in that dressing room? How have I came across on that?
Would you afterwards, would you, would you analyse?
Never ask for anything never asked for anything to be taken out, because if it was going to work, then it had to be, if it was going to be as successful as it has been, then if I was doing that, mate, people would say, that's been edited. He's been asked for that bit to be taken out. He's been asked. So the next one that comes out, you will see me acting like a fucking maniac, mate. So we get put to Scott. This is
spoiler alert.
So again, not just for like for how hard management is, which I'm sure you can imagine how hard it is, but when you've also got the documentary side of things. So we got beat for Alloa in the Scottish Cup. We got a last minute penalty against us. It was never a penalty.
Yeah.
Ball hits Kit Broadfoot's chest. We get put out in the last minute. If we'd won that game, mate, we'd have got a lot of money into the club, which would have helped us massively in terms of other things around about the place. We get put out, we'd been on a bad run. We then go to Rangers on the Tuesday without any preparation time. You didn't get to train in between.
Yeah,
you're basically sending WhatsApp, stuff like that. So I've tried to change it and make it as simple as possible, because I'd watched Rangers play at the weekend. That weekend, they're brilliant. The B teams are brilliant for me. Excellent, really well set up, really well coached. So I try to make it as simple as possible for the players, based on the back. They were on a bad run. I could see their confidence was drained after the Alloa. They were so devastated. And we go and get beat. I think it was 5-2. And I go off my nut, mate. I mean, at half time, like I've probably never been as angry in my life. And then I get home that night, you've just been beat off Rangers, and then also the fact that you've acted like that. And for the next 4 days, mate, is a blur for me.
Really?
Because all I could think about is the result, it's going wrong, it's not working. I'm also going to let a prick on this documentary because I'm completely, I probably was out of order.
So see, like after games, would you analyse the game and the documentary?
No, so that's the thing with the documentary. I didn't get to see the documentary 2 days before it comes out.
Okay.
So I don't know because again, you'll find this out if you ever do become a manager. You remember certain things of what you've said in that dressing room, but there's also that, I can't remember the full things that I said. I could have said some completely out of order in that, and that's going to be shown on it. So like I said, all the factors put together, mate, my head was, after a defeat, if I was going mad, my head would be fried for 3 or 4 days, mate. Yeah. But all the kind of things put in together, so no, it was tough, mate. It was a tough. Like, you look at Arteta, mate, Arsenal, I think the way he was on that documentary, he'd worked at Man City and all that, mate. So this was my first year in management, so it was a lot to deal with.
That was a lot of football talk there.
Dan, you're a bit of a football fan, don't you?
Aye, a fan. Terrible player.
Are you one of the fans? Boo? Please tell the truth. Do you go to games and slaughter players?
No way. I hate that, actually. It does me nothing.
And do you think that's because you've had that being a stand-up comedian?
Maybe.
Performer,
I mean, as I'm getting older, I start to realise that they are human and they can't, especially when it comes to Celtic and Rangers, you can't win every single game that you play.
One thing I've noticed...
That's true.
I've noticed since I got injured and watching games in the stands, that it's the easiest sport in the world.
Watching.
When you're watching. And I've like started myself not to slaughter lads when like I see a guy and there's like a clear fucking free guy you can pass it out to. I'm like, fucking pass it, just give it to him. And then they don't do it. And I'm like, do you not see that? And then I'm thinking, I've done that. Yeah. I've done that myself. Where I've seen like replays of there's an open goal for someone. And I'll just thanks for that. Cheers. And I'll have a shot. And I'm like, I don't have the awareness to see other players.
Do you know when I stopped kind of listening to criticism? I remember being at a Celtic game and I can't remember who got his tickets for it, but Brendan Rodgers was the manager.
Celtic legend. You get tickets for whatever you want.
Sorry, I was in the director's box for a Celtic game with my green Lisbon Lions suit on, and I remember a guy in front of us turning to his palm like, see Brendan Rodgers, he's not got a fucking clue, man. And that was kind of, I sat and thought, right, like,
yeah.
Then I take criticism to heart. Do you know what I mean? Like,
nah.
He'll get caught up in a moment. And
what was the response like when he said that to his pal? Did his pal look at him like he was a dick?
I think it was your dad.
Wow.
You never told your dad.
I was
finally someone agrees with me.
I've got a couple of questions for you.
Go have you ever seen your dad's? Anything you want to ask me, ask us, mate.
Have you ever seen your dad's dick?
I actually have. So I get in some of yourself. Me and my dad are like. My dad was like a motor mechanic, mate. So I'd wake up in the morning, my dad would be gone. I'd get back at night and he'd still be working. He'd done probably get done with the taxi, but he would do homers and stuff like that. So I wouldn't really get to see my dad a lot. Only time I've said this, I think I said this early doors in the podcast. Only time my dad was ever really shouting me and my brother to speak to us was when he was in the bath. So he'd shout you in the room and he'd ask you like strange questions, mate. He's just lying there with his banger it. So
bath talk.
But yeah, you think it's massive, but it's only massive because I was a wee guy. So I'd quite like to see it now again just to confirm if it is, but similar to yourself, mate.
Very similar, mate.
There was a time that my dad and your dad were in the bath together and they shouted.
Did we just become pals?
Here, I went to see Dermot Kennedy at the Hydro about...
Never heard him.
2 weeks ago.
Who's that?
And
don't tell me this is all for nothing.
Biggest, yeah.
Good voice, eh?
Yeah.
I can only tell you. Why don't we all sing it together?
Get your bell into it. Sing it.
Get your bell in to sing it. Get your bell in to See, this is the part. See when we first started doing on Go, mate, this is what it was like. Honestly, we used to sit in we used to do audio only, so it was me, Slaney, Kev, mate. I don't know if you can still listen to them, but back
Did
in
you
the
do
day.
audio? Oh,
Mate,
yeah,
we done
you did
audio
at the
only.
start. You did, yeah.
No, the interviews were always YouTube.
Yeah.
The podcast was audio only, mate. And see, sometimes, mate, I'd be in fucking tears, man. But see, when you get sponsors and stuff need to be taken out, if you could get an unedited version of some of the podcasts, mate, honestly, this is brilliant, isn't it?
It's good.
We did an English podcast. I don't know if you'd heard. This was during lockdown, so it was me, Andy, Kev. We talked about like Steve Bruce farting into a jar, like. That was what he's hanging now. You had fart jars. That's ridiculous. But I'd hear no farting enough during games and stuff like that. And we were sitting one day and it was just getting ridiculous. And the producer just turned and went, "Boys, listen, I've never said this to you before in 7 years, but that's just fucking too much." But I love this sort of part of it. It's incredible, isn't it?
Fart jars. I love it. Green light here.
You are.
Fart jars go for a lot of money on it.
Fart jars.
I think Steve Bruce he gets something like $100,000 for a fart jar.
Wow. Honestly.
Kev Kyle sold his house to buy it.
You know who buys it? Alex.
Alex
Bruce.
Remortgaging his house to buy his dad's fart jars.
You know how you were saying Kevin Kyle wears trackies to the podcast as well? Yeah. Does he walk it to get his steps in?
I think Kev, I would imagine Kev does about 65 steps a day, mate. I've done 20. Enough. How many have you done today? I'm mad on steps, mate. I became kind of obsessed, so I'll tell you.
I can't because I'm just learning to walk again.
20,331.
That's good.
I just walk everywhere now, mate. See, since this app's came on my phone, it drives me mad. I refresh it every 2 minutes. But Kev, nah. So we are moving offices just now. We were in Bad and now we're moving to West Brewery. So in between time, we're trying to do it up into like a set for the podcast to be held there.
Yeah.
So in between time, we're doing it in restaurants. And
shout out Green Room Studio in terms of studio space.
What a place! I've done a few podcasts in here. It's very what is it? Hospitable. Is that
hospitable?
So
well, no, hospitable would be the opposite of would be like intimidating.
No.
Yeah. No. Paul.
No. You're wrong, mate. I'm sorry. Hostile.
Sorry.
Hospitality.
You've just made this,
well, I mean, the last hospital I was in was in Ninewell, so.
So anyway, we get to restaurants now, and it's amazing, mate, because they give you food. So we were in Amber Regent. Every Monday, Kev comes in. He's like, so he put in the chat, where are we tomorrow? I'm like, Amber Regent. He's like, I'm meant to be on a fucking diet every Monday, mate. So every Monday, I always put a picture of the food up. Have you seen it in Kev's and always in the background? So I put it up this Monday, and his wife just messaged me on Instagram. Is he fucking joking me? They'd obviously had like a proper heart-to-heart all weekend about him losing weight and big fucking buffet platter. But big man's a hero. Big Kev doesn't give a fuck, mate. Like, since we've started doing Open Goal, what's that, 5 years he's been on? Every Monday he comes in and says he's on a diet, mate, and
the famous Monday morning diet.
But he does the taxis, mate, innit? So, you know, a taxi driver, you're stopping in garages and...
Aye.
We are doing, see, when you're doing rehearsals for the Hydro, so we got a guy called Spike, he was from London, and we were starving, so somebody went and got pizzas and they were putting pizzas on the thingy, so the pizza's been sitting there for about 30 minutes, mate, so you've had plenty of time to go and get something. So the guy Spike comes in, he's the guy that I need to talk to in terms of me kind of hosting it. When this word said, this video or audio needs to pop up. So me and him are kind of like, I need to get this right. I need to write down time, stuff like that. So I don't know, he's not touched the pizzas for 30 minutes. As soon as this guy Spike starts speaking, it's me, Spike, and Kev's in between us. And every 2 minutes, mate, he's like leaning over to grab a bit of pizza. And I'm like, mate, will you stop eating that pizza for 2 minutes? Honestly, mate, this guy Spike. So I got a picture. We were doing a podcast one day, and I knew the Hydro was coming up. So Kev was scratching his ass one day on his phone, looking out a window, mate. So I've just snapped it, buzzing, keep this for the Hydro. So I'm like, to that Spike, that was one of the first jokes because Kev was one of the first on.
Yeah.
So he's like, this guy's like total zoned in, mate, because this is his thing now. So he's like, okay, Simon Ferry comes on stage, did jokes, 5 jokes, and then Kevin Kyle enters. Picture of Kevin Kyle scratching his ass, and he looks and he goes like that. Do you know I was doing heart surgery at Great Ormond Street last week in London, and now I'm doing this guy scratching his ass. Okay, next thing, post it, and you can see the fucking how disappointed he was that his life had came to this, mate. But we were in stitches. But no, big Kev, he loves his grub.
See on that Hydro. So what I was saying when I went to Dermot Kennedy, before we get into singing,
sorry, I interrupted
singing Dermot Kennedy with our dicks. What I was going to say was, when I went to see that, and I walked in the standing bit that like just off to the side of it, and it wasn't until then when I could see the actual size of the hydro crowd, and then I was like, it instantly hit me. I was like, fuck, this is a big
old place,
how
mate, innit?
big that is.
Well,
Because from when I went to your live shows,
Did you pay for a ticket?
because I've just walked up.
Did you pay?
Did I? I might have. No,
You've took food at my children's
It might
mouths.
have been. It might have been part of. I got gifted a ticket.
That's it, ordinary.
It might have been for my appearance on Open Goal.
Oh, right, so we just gave you a complimentary ticket.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I probably still owe you for it. But
Well, he said, haven't you? You said that you done the hydro and you walked out with 10 minutes.
Yes.
It's just an outer body experience, isn't it?
Yeah, very strange. Very, very strange.
And did you expect it to be like that?
Not really, because I mean, I'm not. I think I'm a good comedian, but I'm no Kevin Bridges, and I'm no.
I thought you were going to say Kevin Kyle.
I'm no far off Kevin Kyle. I'm a couple of Mondays away from Kevin Kyle. The only difference between me and him is height, really, isn't it? And I don't have a driver's license, but apart from that,
They're the same.
no. But like, I'm no Kevin Bridges, and I'm
fake
no.
taxi. Hey!
I'm a circuit comedian, so I do good gigs, but know that. So when I get offered the hydro, I was like,
So who offers you the hydro, Dan? Just sort of interest, like, do you get a phone call? Is it an agent that says you're doing the hydro?
It was the promoter that was running the night. So it was called Back on Top Scotland. And when I got offered that, I just thought, I'm not going to be nervous because I'll never get, that's a Champions League final to me, and I'll probably never get it again. So I'm going to enjoy it, every single moment of it. And I had to, I went and bought a kilt and all that type of shit. And as soon as
Was that part of your act, the kilt?
No, because it was normally I just wear a black t-shirt and a pair of denims, so I wasn't going to wear that
To the hydro.
in front of 10,000 people. Like, all right, anybody take eckies? No. Anybody ever had a cum done before?
In Glasgow, in the hydro, I'm sure there would have
I
been a
got a cheer,
few.
mate. 100%.
Aye.
I had to raise the roof, mate.
So I had to dress up, but
And how did it go?
do you know, I wasn't shy, but like you said, you walk on and I felt like I was watching myself. And every moment of it was so surreal and so nervous. Like, your sweat's different. See, when you're that nervous, it just feels different. Like, you're like, I've
It's so
never
hydro sweat.
I've never felt adrenaline like this before.
Do you get it? Did you stand at the bottom of the stairs and the guy was like 10 seconds?
Aye. Mate, I'm
my
not
arsehole
religious.
felt
I was
my
like,
whole body,
God, praying to my deed grand and all that. Help me, please. Fucking
You
mental.
feeling like that? No.
I didn't realize how big of a thing it was when I went to it, and like, because I've just come in and I've walked straight in from the middle down to the seats. I never really like got to look and stand up and see the full crowd behind me. Whereas when I walked into that gig the other night, I could see and because I've like come a little bit late and everyone had their phones up and stuff with the lights.
You're fucking late.
And I
for the
was
show.
like, fucking.
Wait a minute, you got the ticket for free and you were late.
Well, yeah, fashionably late. Never wanna.
Did you make the start?
Close to it, yeah.
So you missed me coming out?
No, I'm talking about Dermot Kennedy.
Oh, Dermot Kennedy. I don't give
yeah.
a fuck about him. I
No,
don't
no.
care if you're late for him.
No, so that's what I was saying. Like, I've walked, because I didn't really get to see the full extent of a full hydro crowd.
So see, when
It
you're
never
dressing,
really hit me. It didn't hit me until I went to see Dermot Kennedy.
Kennedy,
And I was standing there, I was like, fuck, that's unreal what they've done.
mate, it's a form of torture as well, because seeing your dressing room, there's a telly, and it shows you the crowd filling up. Mate, imagine that. Would you keep it on or would you turn it off? We were debating it. So you're sitting there,
Dunno.
you see the crowd coming in, but then the worst thing is, so the nerves start to get. We were on 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
They come to us at 8:15 and say, "Is the
And
crowd
sorry, your
getting in, so
first-
we're going to need to put it back 15 minutes." And you just want to get on there, mate.
Your first rehearsal was like a few hours before the show.
3 o'clock, mate.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there for 5 hours waiting for this to happen, and it's fucking, that is torture, mate.
Did anything go wrong doing the show?
The fucking rehearsals, mate. Andy was freaking out.
No. The live show.
On the first
That's
show
it
was
went
incredible, mate.
it
Second
went,
was brilliant. The first I heard the second was really good, and then Cum Dog got steaming, didn't he? And that kind of threw us
allegedly.
off.
Allegedly.
And
I was in the car with him coming down.
what
And
to the
he
show?
was so nervous. He was so
you
nervous.
could tell he was. I felt for him, mate. But see, because the day of the hydro, mate, I'm like running about, so I didn't really get a chance to sit with the guests. Like
Jason
Big Charlie
Cummings,
was coming.
by the way.
Jason
Everyone
Cummings.
might not know Cum
So
Dog.
I was like, I don't know why I done this, mate, but I was like, the one guy you wouldn't leave him with Slaney. I was like, watch him, mate, please, like, because you could tell he was nervous. He was drinking a few beers. I could kind of see how nervous he was, and that he thought, if I get steaming, these nerves will go. But that's probably the worst thing you could do, mate. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, watch him, and then I came back in like 10 minutes before the show starts, and I'm like, he's steaming.
Allegedly.
You want to care? No, you want to care, mate. He's fucking living. He's moving. He's getting to move to India, isn't he? He kept coming up to me like that. So Graham Souness was doing it. He's like, I'm going to slap my moustache off Graham Souness. I was like, mate, Graham Souness hasn't even got a moustache. He's clean shaven, mate. What are you talking about? So he comes on the stage, mate. So we've kind of had to, like, he came on, he's like that. I've got an exclusive for you. I'm signing for Rangers tomorrow. Fucking Berwick Rangers, right? So, and then so I'm like, the security, like, we're like, right, brilliant, mate, right, go off. And mate, he's fighting. While we're trying to do the show, mate, I'm looking down at the side of the stage, and he's fucking fighting with security guy. He's trying to get back on the stage, mate. He's went rogue, mate. I actually thought I had to get a sniper, like, to take him out, a sleeping tablet or something. So you're trying to concentrate on the hydro, but you can also see Jason Cummings trying to fling security guards.
I honestly see from watching it. I was watching it and I'm thinking, he could very well just be like that. The way he is, he could and the way he was acting, he could act like that, like normally, just like on a normal day. So I never knew if how many drinks he had or not. But he was fucking. He turned up for training the next day anyway.
But that 10 seconds to go. See, because were you the first one out?
No, I was like the 5th or something.
Right. So see, when we did the hydro, mate, I'm first out. So when you're down there, the lights are on, mate, so you can see the full crowd.
Yeah.
Just before you go on, guy goes 10 seconds, they 10 seconds, the lights go.
Class.
And no class, mate. You don't know what you're walking on. I said to Dan, he's like, I always say, like, wee bullet points, mate. Never looked at that sheet once.
Really?
Couldn't like the manager, mate. Couldn't tell you what came out of my mouth when I first went up there, mate. Just a blur. You're just hoping that it comes out the way you've kind of rehearsed it. But I rehearsed it like the 2 nights before, constantly, mate. Just stood, got my kids, missus on the couch, just stood, rehearsed it. So just hoping that when I got up there, it just come out as I done it the two nights when I think it went all right. But see, when everyone else is on the stage, mate, you can't actually relax and enjoy. You forget the crowd's there. See, when Slaney and Kev come out, Big Charlie comes out.
Slaney there.
You actually do enjoy. Like I came off the stage after the first hide, and I'd do that every week.
Yeah, but it's an adrenaline, isn't it?
The adrenaline gets you through it. See, when you get to half time, the first half's went well, and Tommy Gravison's coming on second half, mate. Work's done, man. This guy will fucking he'll.
Did you hang out with him much afterwards?
So
or was he in and out?
Before it hung out, well, I'm always in and out, as I said, but I sat with him for 10 minutes and he was showing me wrestling moves of what he was going to do to me on the stage. And it was like guys, like YouTube videos of guys like breaking somebody else's neck. This is what I'm going to do to you, lad. And
you'll 100% believe that he will do it.
So you're on the stage, the full second half of the hydro, I'm thinking he's going to attack me at some point. Because he came and sat right next to me, mate. And I'm talking, not even a yard away, Dan. I'm talking his fucking big muscly thigh is touching my muscly thigh, mate. And then he put his arm round us as well at one stage. And I'm thinking, he's fucking doing me here. Because remember, he used to like hold you down in the pool room on the ground. I was like, my wife and kids are here. He's going to fucking hold me down at the hydro and embarrass me for a good fucking 20 minutes, mate. Imagine me asking him questions while he's got me in a fucking headlock. So, and then he got Charlie Mulgrew's name wrong. No, in fact, he walked out. The best thing was he walked out. Charlie was buzzing because Charlie was quite funny first half, and he went down like a storm, Charlie, and then Tommy Gravison's came out to Rock and Roll Star, mate. The place was fucking jumping, mate. I imagine what a rock concert would be like. Holy fuck, this is amazing. So Charlie, I don't know if he was high on confidence for his first half. He walks towards him and goes like that to Tommy Gravison, and Tommy Gravison patches him a fucking belter, mate. And I'm looking at him like that, mate. You've just been patched at the hydro. He's like, didn't talk to me for the full second half. And then Kev asked him a question. He was like, boring, Kevin. And you could see Kev, and he was just terrorising everybody, mate. But he was fucking. And then so I said to him before the show, we're all going to go back to Sanctuary after it. If you want to come, he's like, I will not hang about with you outside this building, lad. I'll come here, I'll do the show, and then I don't want to talk to you again, lad. I'm like, mate, you're a psycho, man.
Have you spoken to him since?
But he only phones me. I'll get a random phone call off a landline number in Denmark, mate.
Really?
But he was playing for like Hamburg, a charity match in Hamburg, and this like British interviewers went to him, oh, you must be fond of your time in Scotland or something. He went like, and it had no relevance to me in the question. He went, yes, Simon Ferry, I'm coming for you, lad. Somebody sent me and I was like, what the fuck, man?
Like a wrestling promo?
Like a wrestling promo, mate. But after the hydro, like for 2 days, he was messaging me like, really proud of what you've done and what you've achieved. Yeah. Like a proper fucking hero, mate.
He was so sound.
Ah, mate, he is genuinely like, if I never had a wife and kids, mate, that's how I'd want to live my life. Like Tommy Gravison.
I remember after like reserve games and stuff, and he'd be sitting down the back of the bus and you'd be asking him fucking questions about everything, and he'd just talk to you like he was just one of us, like he was like one of the other reserve lads. It wasn't about like,
honestly, mate. So if he played Falkirk away, I was obsessed with him, mate. So I would just sit. He would sit in the back, right in the middle seat at the back. I would sit and I'd just sit and ask him questions, mate. And he would, like you say, I'm going to go to, I know what my plan is, lad. I'm going to go to Vegas when I'm 40. I'm going to lose all my money and then I'm going to blow my brains out. And I go, I
remember him just like,
what are you laughing at, lad?
I remember him talking like casually about going for dinner in Madrid, because you'd ask him about Madrid and he'd be like, yeah, go out with Beckham and Raul and stuff, going for dinner and stuff. Just like the most casual way of saying it, like in his fucking, as casual as you can in his accent. But it's fucking...
Go and try his accent.
I think I can do an alright one of them. You need to eat some more iron, la.
Very good.
Nah, that was a bit that was a bit of Schwarzenegger-y.
Well, if you
it's a bit Arnie.
Fuck, I had to be careful saying that word.
Why I man?
Are you've nailed Thomas Gravison, not
okay.
Gaza.
Fucked it.
It's
kinda. It was Gravison doing an impersonation of Newcastle.
Ah, fuck. Okay. God, yeah.
Who would be the Newcastle guy that you would be doing? Have you got a favourite Geordie that you would like Gravison to do? Chris Waddle.
He's good.
Yeah. Oh, Chris Waddle. But no, he was.
I honestly couldn't tell you what Chris Waddle sounds like talking.
But you've done SWG3 with us. So how did you find that?
Terrible.
Hard, mate, innit?
I mean, it didn't help. I was only going to watch the show and going for some food before, and then you were like, do you fancy coming on? I was like,
come on, Maiden.
Yeah, fuck it. Terrible.
But even like you'll know this, like people didn't realise how hard these things are to do, mate. And even like this, like
podcasting is fucking
hard, mate.
It's a lot of effort. It's a lot of swallowing your pride and your ego and being like, fucking like, help me out. Will you do this? Will you do this?
Just being an annoying bastard, innit?
Yeah. I found something from when we were younger. I don't think it's so much of a thing now. But like, see when you were like maybe in the U team or reserves, and it was like to put in loads of work and to do extra stuff and to like fucking be dedicated wasn't cool.
Oh, mate, get hammered for it.
Whereas it's like now, obviously,
everyone's on it.
You're miles too late to acknowledge it, but you're like, fucking what a ridiculous way of thinking. I don't know if it's still there. To be fair, the young boys at Dundee are quite good at it, that they all actually like go and do extra stuff and they don't really take the piss out of each other. But there's fucking, I remember like being younger and I was like, it was the last thing you want to be seen to do.
See, at football, mate,
putting in effort.
I never done any more or any less than what I was paid to do. Just went, trained, and then had a fuck of it.
For the sake of being like,
so people wouldn't call you busy.
People like, oh yeah, you're cool.
Mate, I hate myself for my football career. I say that to my players all the time. Hate myself, mate. Hate myself. I still fucking think about it now.
Because of that? Because of just having that attitude of like,
mate. What a chance you had to go and play for Celtic, mate. You just completely fucked it off. To try and be cool and try to be funny.
Yeah. I always say that about fellas who made it at Celtic, like as in like Aidan, James Forrest, young player, like from the U team to being an actual like Celtic first team regular.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's all about their mindset of, I don't care, like I'm going to do whatever it takes. I don't care if it's like fucking,
mate, Aidan was in the gym all the time, mate.
Or whatever.
I remember seeing Aidan in the gym all the time. he obviously had unbelievable ability, but he'd be in the gym a lot,
he's
mate.
fucking has the right attitude.
The only time I ever went to the gym, mate, is when I was getting pulled into fucking Tommy Burns' office to get in trouble. I would never go to the gym, mate.
When I was injured,
Celtic.
was probably the most.
The best thing that ever happened in the gym was your mate Timmy fell asleep on a bike.
That's before me.
Was it?
Before me.
How can you fall asleep? So he's been asked to go up and do a bike. Timmy Keeley.
Yeah.
This guy was wild, mate. Funny guy. I quite liked him.
Irish.
Like, a bit different. So I think I was injured as well at the time. And I'm maybe doing like the treadmill or something, and he's doing the bike. And I'm looking, because I always looked at him because he was always quite off it, man. He'd always do something, and the next thing you know, his legs are getting slow, and I'm just looking over. The next thing he just goes, on an exercise bike, just goes like that. How the fuck can you fall asleep on a bike, mate?
The year after that, when I came in, and he was, we came back after like having the weekend off, like an international break or whatever. We've had the weekend off. Came back in on the Monday, and he couldn't train for like 2 or 3 days because he's like Si said, he was different and it was funny.
Funny.
But we came in on the Monday, whatever, and he couldn't train for a few days because he'd done like so many sit-ups over the weekend that he totally fucked his abdoms, and he couldn't move or anything.
You can imagine the Irish boys in that digs fuck out of him. He's just hammering at his sit-ups.
No, because everyone went home.
And he was
all the other boys had all went home to Ireland for the weekend, and he was like, "What you do?" Well, he's from Tipperary. I just fucking stayed doing sit-ups, like fucking can't move.
But the funny thing about that story is, mate, our digs were all shite. You get put in like a scheme house in Airdrie I was in, but they boys actually he had like a fucking pool table and a snooker table in his house. So he could have played snooker all weekend, but instead he sat and done.
I just sat doing fucking sit-ups all weekend.
The best gym story at Celtic, I've told you, I think I told in the early days, I stayed in digs with a big guy called Sandy Wood. So this guy was like the best guy in the world, but posh, from Montrose. What was that? What's the place? Lawrencekirk, between Montrose and Aberdeen. First night I went to the digs, mate, I walked up my stairs and I could hear him on the phone in his room, and I was like, I'm not talking to that cat. I went straight to my bed, mate. So I went straight to my bed, and he's chatting my door, introduced himself, pretended I was sleeping because he sounded like such a geek. So we get the first day in at Celtic, he gets on the bus, and a boy called Cass, who's a scheme boy, like drum chap or something, he's sitting with Sandy, and Sandy comes round in the bus. He's like, "You'll never believe I've just been asked if I'm in a gang in Montrose. Is there any street gangs in Montrose?" So this guy was completely like, he's dead for it. He drove a Skoda, so he used to get, but he was a lovely guy. So him and he was a goalie. So we would train during the day on a Tuesday, and he would stay at Celtic Park because the goalies trained on a Tuesday night, the younger goalies, and he would go and help. So I would stay with him because I need a lift back to the digs. Didn't have £3.50 to get a train back to Airdrie. I couldn't be fucked walking it for the. So we'd go up the gym. I'd sit and watch him doing the gym. He's a big, strong guy. So one day Tommy Burns comes in, and Tommy Burns loved their own machine, and Sandy loved their own machine. So Tommy had his training gear on, and he's like, every Tuesday, Tommy's like, every Tuesday we'll have a race on their own machine. So rowing. Sandy would always win, obviously, because he was a big fucking strong guy. And never forget, one day we were up the gym, and Tommy comes in with his suit on. He'd obviously been at a meeting this day, so it wasn't his training kit, it was a full suit. He was always smart, Tommy. He'd wear his son's Rockports with a suit and a big aqua scutum jacket belter. So Sandy's like, well, obviously you've shot yourself either on the day, and Tom's like, what? No, shit myself, come on. Mate, aqua scutum jacket, Rockport boots on, mate, I was in fucking tears. Tommy Burns, mate, on their own machine with his fucking aqua scutum suit, Rockport boots, man. What a hero, eh?
Amazing, man.
He was just, again, that upbringing at Celtic, mate, like, I know I fucked about, but the upbringing you got there, mate, I think that's made me the person I'm today, mate. Like, obviously your mum and dad do well with bringing you up and kept giving you certain kind of fucking how to live and stuff like that, but like how I think how I brought up at Celtic's kind of the person that I'm, mate. Tommy, how he's kind of
see, I wasn't there for so long from youth. I never really had the full like Celtic academy whole lifestyle like drilled into me or anything.
Like we were there since we were 12, mate. Do you know what I mean? So like Tommy, you were never just a football player to Tommy, mate. It was like we wanted to make you a better person, like, and how I treat people.
See, from when you were 12, being in the academy, was it always? Because I always say when I came over late, I never had pressure of being from the whole academy. When you go into the academy, the whole goal is to be a first team player.
Yeah.
So I never had any of that. So I went in like completely open-eyed, like not knowing anything, without any pressure. And I've always said like that
That was a good time.
it done me good. Like
Yeah.
I could go and train with like a relative freedom. Whereas like it must be, I don't know, like if you're going in from under 12s,
Yeah.
when you get to U team, you're like, it's not just, it's another step to getting to the first team. Whereas for me, it was just like, well, I wasn't doing anything
Before anyway.
before that. I may as well go and try it.
But like, see with Tommy, mate, it was never pressure with you. There was never pressure. Like he would never put he just made you feel like his words all the time was, boys, you're the best fucking players in Scotland. Every game, before every game. You used to go to games thinking I don't think we got beat for about 3 years, mate. From under 16s to under 19s.
Yeah.
And it was him, mate. No in terms of like people. I couldn't remember one coaching session he put on. See the words that he gave you, mate. The belief that you had in yourself, fucking incredible, man. Honestly, I remember going to games thinking we can't get beat here, man.
So then, see a lot of what he would have said in those years, and then take away the years from reserve for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
From the one before that, then is that what you're saying? Like you'd take on to?
No, I'm
how
talking
you are
about
now?
just see a 12-year-old. Like, have you met somebody in the Celtic Park, like, and if you say you walk past them, you like, stop, like, speak to them.
Yeah.
Speak to people, look them in the eye, give them your time of day. They understand what it means to them. Like, it was life lessons for 12, mate. You weren't like dressing rooms, clean the dressing room. Didn't disrespect people.
Yeah.
Who you want to clean it? The guy that's in here getting £6 an hour. Use clean the dressing room.
Yeah.
Like that was installed in us. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like things I'm still mad on now, mate, is things that I was being told at 12 and 13 for Tommy.
Yeah. See, I would have missed all of that.
Even my kids, mate, I'm the same with them. He was fucking mad on how you were as a person more than how you were as a football player, mate. That's what I'm saying. Like the upbringing I got at Celtic's incredible, mate. Fucking incredible.
And what would he?
So lucky.
What do you think he would have said about what you're like saying about his dad?
Nah, he loved
Getting his
Patter,
bell
mate.
out.
Nah, he loved. Like I used to text that big guy Sandy in my digs. I used to steal his phone. So if Sandy went for a shite or something, he'd leave his phone in the bed. I'd take his phone and text Tommy, saying, "Can you wear tighter trousers tomorrow? Your trousers were nowhere near tight enough today." And he would he'd love that, mate. He would like it's at the right times. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I was to do that during training, then he'd go off his nut. But outside the football, mate, he loved it, man.
Here,
He loved a laugh.
totally off topic. That reminded of taking a phone. I was thinking about it last week. See when this is completely off topic. See when I was in Israel and I had to get a guy over for the like back garden bit of the flat was a mess. And I wanted the guy to come over and fix up the garden for me so it was like a little bit better to live in there. And this guy's come over, his name was Aviv, and he was in my phone book as Aviv Gardner. So he comes over, and it wasn't until like a year or two later that I've clocked on, and it was, sorry, that's what it reminded me of. A few weeks ago, it popped up on my phone, Aviv Gardner's birthday, right?
Wish him happy birthday.
No, wait. So when he's come over to do the thing, I was like, oh, like come over every few weeks or whatever, put your number in my phone. So when he's putting his number in his phone, he's put his birthday in the contact details.
Why do you think that was? Hoping you'd get him to?
Fucking no idea.
I think so.
Last fucking 4 years, every year I get a notification. The only person in my phone book that I have their birthday, Aviv Gardner's birthday.
Amazing,
It
man.
was fucking literally 2 weeks ago. Yeah, sorry, totally
good,
off
mate.
topic there.
You ever had a gardener?
No. I mean,
James
Manscaped
Gardner.
Manscaped.
Oh,
That would have been
Manscaped's
a
good,
good.
innit?
for the old
Are you a big one
plums.
for
Yep.
scalping the boys?
Yes.
Full scalped?
See for the chin down, mate. I'm completely naked.
Are you, mate?
Completely. There's nothing there.
Not even a wee caterpillar for your
Nothing, mate.
belly button?
Shins, my toes get shaved everywhere, mate.
We had an Italian guy at Swindon that used to shave his ass in the sink.
In the sink.
He'd put one leg up and loved it. Don't know what was happening.
It'd be a fucking bit cloggy there.
You're a hairy bastard.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Old
Yeah.
school.
No, not with the
So
Manscaped.
everywhere
Not
except
with the
for that.
Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0.
Everywhere except for that.
No, shit. I groom myself. Look after
Uh-huh.
myself.
Shows your chest.
What?
Shows your chest.
No, because it wouldn't be a good advertisement.
For what?
for the Lawnmower 4.0.
Can I see your chest?
I'm not getting my tits out.
Nah.
I'll do it when we're not filming.
What's that thing on YouTube you watch?
Here, see the...
A wee inside joke here, by the way.
Do you know, that's a private joke as well. The TikTok videos that I do.
What's this? I don't know. I've not got TikTok. It's the one thing I didn't hear at TikTok. I
Right.
just feel like my life would
No.
Sit
So
flick through TikTok.
what we've been doing is trying to make up a story. We'll make up a story here, and I can clip it, and I'll put it on TikTok and see if it can go viral.
Right.
Right. So the very first one I done got 3.2 million
No way.
views because I made up a story about being vegan, working at McDonald's, this kind of stuff. So I was thinking
I
about.
watched that podcast. I know the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this one I was thinking of doing. I was thinking of talking about sports stars, and in particular footballers should be exempt from paying tax because they provide a very important service to the public.
And what is that service?
Entertainment.
So then should actors, singers, and be the same?
No, but he's deliberately doing that to annoy people.
Just where people will be like, that's fucking bullshit, just to get
right,
views
just
and
to get views,
yeah. It's only for TikTok.
Like a proper Andrew
It's
Tate
only
statement.
for yeah. It's
What was that thing
only
you were
for.
saying about women before we came on? Why don't you just say that? That would go viral.
I was saying that women could also use the Lawnmower 4.0 because some women have
Right, so
balls.
you're going to do this now? Talk about football should be exempt for tax?
I think that might be a good one.
Yeah, go for it. Why don't
Might
you
have-
do a proper statement like you're angry about it?
But maybe you
I'm trying to
could
think
be
how can we
involved.
No,
how
no,
can we
no,
set
no,
it
no,
up?
no, I'm not getting involved.
Do you not want in?
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
you don't want in on
On
that.
you go, mate. Shag on shagger.
How can I do this? Providing a sports stars. How can we start it? Oh fucking!
So now that you're doing the podcast, have you had to go
I don't want to bring that up.
There will be a day where you need to go self-employed.
Okay, so we'll. I don't know with this.
Slow burner.
That's the spirit.
You'll get there, mate.
Sai was very complimentary earlier and asking me about, what about all the comments you get? Like, do you get much hate on them?
And you said,
I was like, no, it's
Yeah.
a bit too many. It's not quite
oh,
plural.
mate,
It's not quite plural. It's not
who
quite
just puts
plural.
a podcast out and it's successful straight away? It's going to take time, mate.
Yeah, I know. It's anyway.
You'll get there, mate.
Anyway, cheers, thanks. So sports stars should not pay tax, should be exempt from paying tax.
Let's go.
Do you want to ask me a question? No, so I'll just clip it where it's fucking talking about tax, by the way. I don't think footballers in particular, I don't think should be exempt from paying any sort of tax. Because I think they provide an essential form of entertainment for the public. A lot of people now cost of living crisis. Football provides a good escape for people. And I think giving that commitment that footballers give, they should be totally exempt from paying any sort of tax. Maybe not, no.
I think that'll go viral.
Yeah.
mate. Uh-huh.
Don't know.
I
It's
also
gonna
think
go
you'll be, I
viral.
also think
I
you'll
thought
be
the
killed.
last
I
one
also
would
think
be
you'll be
good.
assassinated.
I thought the last one would have been good and it was the worst one.
What, the vegan one?
Yeah.
What, you just said
I
they got
don't-
3
no,
million views.
No, that was the first one. And then
What was the first one then?
that was the first one.
Right, what was the last
The
one?
most recent one was I
The oil.
blamed my injury on eating meat. I said I was vegan and then I came back here,
You've
started
hit the
eating
vegan
meat.
market on it. You've tried to go again.
I thought, I was like, it's been successful in the past. I'll dip back into it.
Find a new. Nah, you've just found it. I think that'll go well for you.
Tax.
So do you get money out of these 3 million TikToks? Just so I know.
Nah.
Do you get money? I thought
Don't
if you
worry. Don't
get views
bother
on
with TikTok.
TikToks, you get money now.
I mean, it's probably the same as anything. If you get views, you'll get.
Oh, you got 3 million though, so nothing.
You can monetize
Nah.
it. There's an option to like promote stuff.
Right.
Like Manscaped.
Are you this? Is Manscaped actually sponsor you? Or are you trying to lure them in?
No, we've got it there.
See that big box? That's full of Manscaped goods.
So they send you stuff.
Yeah.
So he's doing well then.
That's why I was saying I
That's how it
shave.
starts, isn't
It's a
it?
trial run.
I shave
Yeah,
my
but
entire
still-
body for the
It's a
chin down.
trial run.
Right. So are you getting out?
So I'll have to do an ad after it.
All right.
Yeah. But I've got that. I think I've got that down to a T.
Nah. So are you going to do one of the?
You don't
Are you going
have
to do one of the outrageous statements every podcast?
Yeah, and Manscaped was the only people who would get on board with it because
Yeah.
I'm basically spreading false
Pubes.
information.
All right.
You don't have to worry about dealing with sponsors.
See
You've
the
got
guy that
people to
started
do that.
Manscaped, do you think he just hates pubes? What do you think he got a pube in his food once?
His pizza.
On his teeth?
Imagine that. Aye, that's his thing.
What do you think it's made him so angry about pubes?
See when I shave
Let's
it.
make up something that's happened.
See when I shave at home,
Uh-huh.
like my beard. I'm shaving my beard, and if there's any kind of hair hanging about, and Jodie finds it, she'll come in like, "Your fucking pubes are all over the place." I'm like,
I've got more hair
"It's
than
my
just pubes.
beard. It's my beard." Not every hair is a pube.
Uh-huh.
Shout out Jodie.
Jodie is like, I do. I've got a lot of time for Jodie. How's her brother? You know, our brother. I got our brother a job at Open Goal.
I know,
It
yeah.
lasted one fucking day. Never came back. He wore a shirt and tie. Like Open Goals, like we're relaxed, obviously, like casual. Everyone that hangs about his car, he's like, he was coming to do cameras or set cameras. I'm sure he wore a shirt and tie, mate. What a guy he is. And then I caught him, and then I seen him selling like door-to-door salesman up in steps. I was at a walk on my bit. Again, I think he was wanting about the same shirt and tie on.
Yeah.
Shirt and tie does not match, and I think he was selling like house insurance. He's even got his own house, and he's selling house insurance.
it was with the used to do with building and electric and stuff. He's doing well in it now, but he he was working. He was in for a while with Union Technical. Shout out Union Technical.
They might sponsor you.
Yeah.
He's got
Owen Coyle, right? Owen Coyle and Sweeney were doing it, right?
Oh, Owen Coyle, right? Huh?
And
the other Owen Coyle,
not the manager Owen Coyle,
yeah.
His nephew Owen Coyle. And so Jamie was in working for them, and they had he was in working for about 2 or 3 weeks. This is Jodie's brother.
He's a hero.
He must have been working there for about 2 or 3 weeks, and they had a works night out. And Sweeney had told me the story. So Sweeney's one of the managers of this Union Technical, and his boss. And Sweeney's, they're in the pub, and Sweeney's drinking a pint of Guinness. And Jamie walked in, and he goes, "Is that Guinness nice?" And Sweeney was like, "Ah, it's all right." And he goes, "Can I taste it?" And just grabbed the glass, took a drink. So Sweeney was telling me the story, and he was like, I just come in and took a sip of my drink, and I was like, I like him. He's fucking, I rate that.
He's a good guy. I want to hear your views on the reason you think the guy's. What is it? What's happened? What's been his pube experience?
With Manscaped. I've still got a couple of more questions for you.
All right, you know what?
I'll get to that.
Right, so how we think about why you think he started. What is it that happened with a pube that's made him start this?
I think he's got alopecia. And I think it's a
Oh,
I want everyone else to have it.
coping mechanism.
Good.
Yeah.
Like it. Right, sorry, what's your question?
Do you know Jim Duffy?
Do you know Jim Duffy texted me about the Hydro actually, about his nephew. The day, I think it was the day of the Hydro, I was just too busy to text back, so I feel bad for that. But I know I've never met Jim Duffy directly, but I've heard he's a great guy. Jim McAnally, who's my manager, is good pals with him, and he's meant to be a hero.
Cool.
Is that just a random question?
Aye, basically.
Would you like? He manscapes his head, didn't he? Is that why you're asking?
Maybe that's connected. I never even realised.
I thought that was
Jim
leading
Duffy
into
why the
another
guy
question.
started
Jim Duffy would look weird with hair.
with pubes.
Imagine that.
Mm-hmm. I've seen him with hair.
Have you?
Seen a picture of her. I've got a picture on my phone.
Right, okay. Don't know why that tickled me so much. Yeah.
I do. I've got a picture of Jim Duffy with hair on my phone. Right, next
Can I see
question.
it? The next question is: see, when you were running a football club and trying to sign players and stuff, was there like members of your family or pals that are a pain in the arse and they're like, "Why don't you try and sign him on a free transfer?" And you're like, "Mate, gonna fuck up. You don't work in football."
Mate, see, to be honest, my family kind of know that I'm a psychopath, and they not really interfere in
All right.
my business. No, but my mum and dad didn't know football, mate. They're not interested in football. My brother's laid back guy. He would never be like that. My
Shout out
sister,
Ryan.
Ryan. Remember that? So nah. Family members, like mates, group chats. Thing is with my mates and group chats, mate. See when I was getting all that abuse not long ago.
By the way,
just
sorry.
constantly fight. I was like, they were like, mate, you are getting it on thing, and I was like, I know, mate, I'm just staying off it, and they were just firing every single fucking. Every time there's a comment put up, they would screenshot it, put it in the group.
See the podcast you done after all that shit came out, and you were like, oh fucking, I know. Yeah, I was getting loads of messages from people saying like, don't worry about it, it's all right, blah blah blah. And you're like, oh, it's fucking. I wasn't worrying about it until you said it. And because I messaged you, and I was like, thinking that to myself, because I hate it as well when someone texts me something bad that someone said. I'm like, I didn't need to say. I wasn't trying to find that to look at it. I didn't want to know about it. There's a reason I'm not listening to it or looking it up. And then I was thinking, but also kind of did want to like say, just to like, like to give some sort of support. But yeah, as soon as you said, I was like, oh no. Yeah, but to be fair, I'd rather do that than not.
And then you did say, could you shave your pubes for the podcast?
And get them on camera.
No, that was a weird week, mate. Never really bothered me as what was Slenny was.
Here, no one will be watching by now.
What do you mean?
It's gone on too long. People won't be still watching.
How long have we done, Paul?
You can say whatever you want.
Nah, go as long as you want. I think people will still be tuned in at it, mate. That was a weird week, mate. That was constant, mate. I thought it would last like a day, because usually these things are a day and they're done, mate. Getting like 3 or 4 days and you're like, fucking hell. But Slenny took it bad, mate. He's been really good. At the start, we both took...
Oh, Slanny,
sorry.
Sorry.
We both took quite...
I'm dyslexic.
Like, at the start, we'd probably read every comment, like Twitter and YouTube. At the start, you're kind of... It was quite a lot of praise at the start, and then...
I'll look up myself when I'm doing good.
Are you, mate?
When I'm doing good.
So what, on Twitter you put your own name in?
If I'm doing good.
Oh, mate, never, man.
No, when I'm doing good.
I think I did at the start as well. And then I put in one night and I was like, never. That was like 5 years ago.
See if I have a shocker.
Oh,
don't
fuck.
look at it. Don't look at it.
Do you put your name in Twitter?
Aye.
Are you, mate?
Aye. Not for a while, but, I've done it.
Why? I think there's not going to be ever anything good, is there?
Curiosity.
No, but that's what I mean.
Cat.
When I'm doing good. When I'm doing good, I'll do it just to...
Boost your ego.
I don't know, yeah.
It's a dangerous game, that, mate.
Aye, but I don't get, yous will get like... Yous or shite.
Yeah.
I get, I seen Bobby in Asda. Do you know what I mean? I seen Darren Connell, man, walking down fucking,
That place that you go for.
where you drove past me on a bike.
Under the motorway.
And your arse was hanging at the
Yep.
bush.
You came past us in a unicycle.
We need to meet there again soon, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
We'll go straight for here. Any more topics? Or
Nah, it was a good thing not to fucking go by the topics today, I think.
is it how long do they usually last? About an hour?
This will be the longest, won't it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it an hour? Huh?
And now, what you say, Paul? An hour and 10?
What do they usually last? And what is that due to lack of conversation or? Right, so it's just meant for the viewer.
Yeah.
Everyone's been
Fucking-
shite apart from this one.
That was good. The start was.
This has been a record
exceptional.
breaker. I think we might have peaked.
What was
Yeah.
your highlight? Mine was your helmet singing.
I feel like I was overpowered as a presenter, as a host, which I actually enjoyed. It's hard.
No, but I think, like it's better when it's like this, isn't it?
No, it's
So
much
you're
better when
just,
people
it's
come
a
on and
chat,
just
mate,
talk.
innit?
Yeah.
Come on again anytime, mate.
The highlight of my night, and it wasn't during the podcast, was when I said to you in the pub that I knew where you lived and your
That was-
fucking soul left your eyeballs.
That was strange, mate.
Aye, I know. Sorry about that. But I
But
did know. I know exactly where you live. Your house.
Frank Anderson.
Aye. Basically, aye.
Shout out Frank Anderson.
I could
fucking
text
take
Frank Canoe and say,
Frank-
Frank, take a picture of his fucking
Will Frank
the
watch
number on the
this?
door. Maybe.
You're a creep, Frank.
Manscaped.
You said he was a deviant, didn't you? Well, it's been
Right.
a pleasure. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'll wrap it up here by saying thanks, Si, for coming on. Hopefully
Anytime.
we'll get the little Si Ferry bump in viewers.
I'm in the count on it
We
after the
were-
last couple of weeks.
we
mate.
were,
This could be the lowest one yet.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, I think you'd have been all right, but this could finish you, mate.
I don't
You
know. I
could then
think
get
Bell
my
and
haters might
Chat,
jump
Bell
on
and
the-
Chat
Bell
could
and
finish
Chat's-
this.
No, Bell and Chat's what's going to take you to the top, mate. I know you're talking about viral things, but I think it could be the Bell and Chat that gets you there. That was incredible.
No, thank you very
No
much
worries.
for coming on. Appreciate it. Darren, thanks as always. Paul, thank you very much. Busting for a piss.
Same.
See you as episode 14.